Hello and welcome to this new video lesson of the novel Goodbye Mr. Chips. This novel has been prepared and is being recorded for intermediate part 2 students. This lecture is about chapter number 3 and overall this is going to be lecture number 12. In this lesson we are going to discuss some content from page number 6. As we go on, we'll read the text and I'll be explaining you different difficult words and I'll be providing you with their synonyms as well. Are you ready? Let us open our books on page number 6. Paragraph number 2. And Chips also would be making his comments to Mrs. Wickett. Chips is discussing about the boys who visited him and he offered them tea. In the previous lecture, lecture number 11, when we discussed first long paragraph on page number 6, chapter 3, we saw that Mr. Chips invites new Brookfieldian students to his home, he offers them tea and he gives them cakes to eat. This scene now, when Mr. Chips is discussing or he is commenting about the boys, this scene appears after that scene, and the two old people, Mrs. Wickett and Mr. Chips, they are discussing how the meeting has been. And Chips also would be making his comments to Mrs. Wickett when she entered the room to clear away. To clear away, to remove the remains of the party. Remains, here the word remains is a noun with plural form. It means things or edible things or crockery. Whatever is left over from the party, she is going to remove it. A most interesting time, Mrs. Wickett, young Banksome tells me that his uncle was Major Collingwood. The Collingwood we had here, No.12. No.12 is a slang for 1902. I think it was. Dear me, I remember Collingwood very well. I once thrashed him. Here, Miss Chips is discussing about, or he is commenting about young Banksome. It's name of a new student in Brookfield, and Mr. Chips have had a tea session with him, and now he is discussing how young Banksome is related to another previous student, Collingwood. So the both old people are discussing. I remember Collingwood very well. I once thrashed him. Thrashed him, punished him. I once thrashed him for climbing onto the gymnasium roof. Gymnasium is a place where people go to perform exercise, to do exercise, to keep themselves fit. Normally, the first part of the word gym is used in everyday life, but the full word is gymnasium. For climbing onto the gymnasium roof to get a ball out of the gutter. Gutter here means a drainage pipe, a drain. A ball was stuck in a pipe. He got into the gymnasium roof and he wanted to take the ball from the pipe, but Mr. Chips caught him and he scolded him or punished him. Might have broken his neck. The young fool. Mr. Chips is expecting, or he is guessing, that if Mr. Chips would not have stopped Collingwood, he must have broken his neck, or he must have harmed himself one way or the other. Do you remember him, Mrs. Wickett? He must have been in your time. Mrs. Wickett, before she saved money, had been in charge of the linen room at the school. Linen room is a room where maybe uniforms or the curtains or other bed sheets or other types of clothes related to school and school hostel are kept. most of the time in the examiners also like to ask who was Mrs. Wickett. So as we tell examiners the answer of this question, we also need to add that she had been working as an in charge of the living room at the school. Yes, I know him. Here, him is not completely written because the author wants to give a complete expression how the word was produced. So it is knew him, but the complete word is him. Yes, I knew him. Sir, cheeky was to me. It means Collingwood used to be cheeky or disrespectful to Mrs. Wickett. Cheeky, disrespectful. Generally, but we never had. Here again, the word had is not completely written. Only A and D are written, and H is skipped with an apostrophe on the top. So it's a contracted expression, but we can expect that the author is trying to give us the exact expression, exact English expression. But we never had, no bad words between us, just cheeky like. He never meant no harm. He never meant no harm. Now here the first word of the sentence is E with an apostrophe behind it. Here E means he. He never meant no harm. That kind never does, sir. Wasn't it him that got the medal, sir? Now Mrs. Wickett is also trying to guess who the boy is Mr. Chips is talking about, and yes, DSO. Now this is DSO is name of the medal Collingwood got when he was in the army. DSO means Distinguished Service Order. It must be some medal from the English Army. Will you be wanting anything else, sir? Nothing more now. Till chapel time. Chapel is a church, a place to offer prayer for Christians. Difference between a church and chapel is church is a bigger building, but chapel is a very small place with only 10 to 15, 20 people. They can offer the prayer there. Chapel. So till chapel time, he was killed in Egypt. Now Mr. Chips even remembers that how Colin was killed. He was killed in Egypt. I think, yes, you can bring my supper about then. Very good, sir. This is for today. We'll see the next paragraph on page number 7, chapter 3 in the next lecture. Have a very nice time. See you in the next lecture.